So, are you wondering where Mobile's housing market is headed? Well, let's break it all down together. What's going on? I'm Asher Anderson, a realtor with Roberts Brothers. Now, I know market stats can sometimes feel a little less than exciting, but we're going to explain them in a way that's clear, interesting, and most importantly, useful for you. We'll cover the latest trends, talk about what these numbers mean for buyers and sellers, and look at how our market compares to previous years. Let's dive in and make sense of all this data. Now, it's important to note that all the data we'll discuss today is hot off the press from October, and we'll be comparing it with September's figures to track our market's trajectory. Let's start with inventory, which is essentially the number of homes available for sale. October ended with 1,236 homes on the market, which is actually a drop of 8% since the previous month. Now, you might wonder if that's significant, but what's actually insightful is looking at this figure compared to last year and even further back. In fact, inventory is up by 25% from that time last year. So while inventory has dipped slightly in October, the year-over-year increase shows us that the housing market in Mobile is offering more options than it did a year ago. And that's critical because more homes means more choices for buyers and potentially less upward pressure on home prices. Then we have new listings, that is, homes that have just hit the market. Last month, we had 498 new listings come up, a small bump of about 8% from the previous month, which is definitely good to see. Interestingly, this figure is almost identical to the same time period last year. This consistency could indicate a more stable market, which is often good for both buyers and sellers. When new listings remain steady, it suggests that the market isn't flooded with houses, but also isn't too tight on inventory, helping to balance supply and demand. Next, let's discuss home sales and interest rates, two major indicators of housing demand. In October, 340 homes were sold, up 9% from September. This is an interesting increase given the time of the year because usually it slows down in the fall. But if we compare it with the year over year, home sales are actually down 5%. So it's up month over month, but down 5% year over year. For buyers, this means less competition as fewer people are purchasing compared to last year. For sellers, it might indicate that homes are staying on the market a bit longer. That's partially due to another big factor, interest rates. Over the past month, interest rates have risen by about 0.75% and are now sitting around an average of 6.75% for a 30-year mortgage. This reverses the previous month's trend where we actually saw rates drop by about that same amount. This rate increase affects affordability as higher rates mean higher monthly payments for the same home price. If you're thinking of buying, it's a good idea to keep an eye on those interest rates because even a small increase can significantly impact your budget. I would definitely recommend talking with your lender about a rate lock if you're actively searching for a home. Moving on to prices, let's talk about the median sold price, which is a great indicator of what people are actually paying for homes, not just what they're listed for. The median price in October was $218,750, which is down by about 3% from last month, but up 2% from this time last year. So what does this mean? Well, this slight drop month over month isn't a major cause for concern. In fact, it's pretty normal to see prices dip a bit as we move into those cooler months. But on a yearly basis, that 2% increase shows us that the market has still been gaining value steadily, though not at the same rapid pace we saw in previous years. Sellers should consider this when pricing their homes, ensuring they strike the right balance between competitive pricing and maximizing their return. For buyers, this could mean that prices are becoming a bit more approachable, especially with inventory on the rise. And while we're talking about prices, if you're thinking about selling or just curious even what your home could be worth, go ahead and take a look at my instant home estimate resource. The link for it is down in the description. One of the most telling metrics in our report is the price per square foot, which currently sits at $147. That's up 4% from last month and 8% from last year. Over 3 years, this figure has gone up by 27%, which speaks to the overall trend of increasing home values in Mobile. For anyone buying or selling, this price per square foot is an excellent way to benchmark the value of a home based on its size. A rise in price per square foot suggests that the cost of housing has been consistently growing, even if the median home price growth is slowing down a bit. This is because median price tells us nothing about how much home you're actually getting. It only tells us the sticker price for that home. Now let's look at how long homes are typically sitting on the market. In October, the median days on market was 33, an increase from 30 days last month and almost double what it was last year at the same time, which was 17 days. This increase signals a slower pace in the market where homes are taking a bit longer to sell. For buyers, this can definitely be a positive development because it can give you more time to consider your options and make a decision without all that pressure of bidding wars quite as frequently. For sellers, ensuring your home is in top showing condition could reduce time on market and help secure a really good offer. Lastly, let's discuss months of inventory, a critical metric when determining whether we're in a buyer's or seller's market. Currently, we have 3.6 months of inventory. This metric is calculated based on how long it would take to sell all available homes if no new homes were listed. Typically, anything less than 5 months is considered a seller's market, where sellers have the upper hand in negotiations. At 3.6 months, we're still technically in a seller's market, but it's worth noting that this figure has increased from 2.7 months last year and has increased every year since 2020. So while sellers do have an advantage, the market is shifting to a more balanced state. For buyers, this slight increase of months of inventory could mean a bit more leverage in negotiations as we're edging closer to a neutral market. For sellers, it signals that we're not seeing the same level of frenzied activity as in the past couple of years, so adjusting to these market dynamics will be crucial for engaging potential buyers with compelling reasons about why your home stands out. In summary, here's what the data is telling us. So one, inventory is up year over year, providing more options for buyers, but it has seen a slight month-over-month drop, which is typical really for this time of the year. 2, new listings are stable, indicating a steady flow of homes entering the market, but without flooding it. 3, home sales have dipped year over year, but rose last month. 4th, interest rates are up, which impacts buyer affordability and could be a factor in slightly longer days on market. 5, prices are stabilizing with a minor year-over-year increase in the median sold price, where price per square foot has shown a stronger growth trend. 6, days on market are increasing, giving buyers a bit more breathing room while signaling to sellers the need for good strategic positioning of their home. 7, months of inventory is at 3.6, and this suggests we're still in a seller's market, but we're inching closer to a balanced one. This report gives us valuable insights in the direction of the market. For buyers, more inventory and slightly longer market times could provide more flexibility. And while the market conditions provide a good selling environment, the emerging trends suggest that a sharp pricing strategy and effective marketing are more crucial than ever to attract serious buyers. Whether you're thinking of buying, selling, or you just want to keep an eye on the market, understanding these trends helps you make informed decisions. If you're curious about your home's potential value, remember to check out the description for the instant estimate link. And thank you so much for joining me on this deep dive into Mobile's housing market. Subscribe for more useful updates and don't hesitate to reach out to me if you have any questions or drop them in the comments below. See you next time.